Hey YouTube, happy Friday. I'm Hannah and welcome to another week of the 5 Awesome Musicians. There wasn't a set challenge for this past week. I decided I'm gonna make the challenge for next week. This next week will be week 4 of the 5 Awesome Musicians for this year. Thank you for sticking with us this long. So I think it's about time that all 5 of us as co-vloggers get to know each other on a little bit of a deeper level. Not that making music with like spoons and mac and cheese isn't fun, because it totally is, but we're just gonna keep on going. So, 5 Awesome Musicians and all of our viewers, here is your challenge for this week. We are going to make a musical bucket list! But there are several rules. Rule number 1. All events on your bucket list must be strictly musical. Not strictly, but they have to be like somehow musically related. I mean, it could be something big, like I'm gonna be the principal tuba player of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Or it could be something like a lot smaller and be like, hey, you know that piece? Yeah, I want to play that piece. Doesn't matter, just whatever you're feeling. Totally no judgment zone. Just whatever makes you happy. Rule number 2. You are not allowed to say a general statement such as, I wish to be a band director, unless you have several modifiers that make that goal different than, say, why I would want to be a band director. Or not why, but what you want to do with it. So, for example, it would not be okay to say, I wish to teach choir. But it would be okay to say, I wish to teach choir to a school of 30 middle schoolers in Australia that happen to be llamas. Yeah. And rule number 3, just have fun with it. Don't be lame. Just, I mean, even if it's unrealistic, that's even better. Like, if it doesn't actually happen, I'm not gonna hold you to it. It's okay. So, those are your only 3 conditions. Ready, set, go! And today, I will even start with sharing my musical bucket list with you, just to give you an idea of what type of thing I'm looking for. So I've actually thought about this a lot, and I have a pretty extensive musical bucket list. So today, for time's sake, and so I don't bore you to tears, I'm just gonna take you through a little sampling of my musical bucket list. So point number 1. I would really, 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 really like to be in a jazz ensemble at some point. Being a flute player, jazz opportunities growing up were pretty limited, so I have never done anything like that. I mean, I've like been to jazz concerts, but I don't know like anything about jazz, which is a big problem if I'm gonna be a band director. So we gotta fix that. Plus, it just looks like a ton of fun. But yeah, I for real like don't know anything. Like this is the extent of what I know about jazz. Like actually. Points number 2. I would really like one day to be able to teach general music. I mean, I'd like to teach it here, but I also really want to teach it in a country like Africa. I'm like really drawn to that culture, and I always have been, like, forever. And I just, like, the music there just really interests me. And I'd like to go there and be able to not only learn, like, teach them, but also learn their customs and do kind of a give and take type of deal. And I just think general music would be so awesome there with, like, body percussion and all that stuff. So, that's all for today, for Fridays with Hannah on the 5 Awesome Musicians. I am so excited to be able to see all of your musical bucket lists, 5 Awesome Musicians, and our wonderful viewers. So, think about it, go do that, share it with us. And be sure to tune back in on Monday to see Chris and his musical bucket list. Have a great weekend!
We're five awesome musicians with an X that's just our way, and that's what makes us awesome. What else can I say?